Hello, everybody. Russell Hill. Welcome to WTF. What the Fix Stops? Today, this is our fourth episode. However, we have our first guest, Kaylee Felio from Partsedge. Welcome, Kaylee.
Thank you so much for joining us, Kaylee. It's good to see you. And for those of you that don't know, those people out there that don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Please.
Yeah, so I am the sales and marketing manager at Partsedge. So I'm in charge of all sales, all marketing, and I've really developed the sales process and our content and just building our name and our brand for Partsedge. So that's what I do.
Excellent. And I know that you have a really fun founding story. Why don't you tell us that? Or maybe not founding story, but how you got where you are.
Yeah, she told me a little bit about that. I said, that is so interesting. So, yes, please indulge us. Tell us, Kaylee.
Yeah, I would love to tell you guys. And it's funny, too, because it's been coming up a lot more. Like, people are asking me, well, how did you end up in the auto industry? And I'm like, well, it's kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
So Chuck and Cliff are the founders of Partsedge, and their office was in the Subway restaurant that I was managing. And they were my regular customers, and they came in and they presented an opportunity to me. Well, they were actually asking if I knew anyone that was looking, but they were really asking me. I just didn't really realize that. Because I guess that's like the nonchalant thing to do when you're like in public like that. So so they presented the opportunity. I thought about it, and I took it because I was going to school or college, and I was just in this in-between where like I wasn't quite sure if college was really the direction I wanted to go in, and did I want to go in a lot of debt? I just didn't know. And it just seemed like a great niche opportunity that I could learn a new industry. And so I learned just the operations side of the business for Partsedge and working with our customers. And then I went off and did other things because I really wanted to do sales and marketing is what I discovered. And then when that position came back open at Partsedge, I jumped on that because that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to help build that brand because there was no marketing that Partsedge did.
Wow, that is fascinating. I mean, it's you're over 5 years there now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's great. So, all right. So, you know,
marketing.
Yeah.
I would total like 9 years, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really funny when you talk about, Charity and I have talked a little bit about this, but I think it's, the numbers may be a little off. I think they're like 4 years old, but 92% of people that go to college and get a degree obviously come out extremely heavily debt laden, but 92% of them don't even work in the chosen field that they spent all that money and got in debt for with a degree and they go someplace else. I don't understand it, but
that's so true.
It is.
So true. I mean, I was going for business, so I mean, it would have worked anywhere, but I was just like, I really don't want to go into debt.
So you get this opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. And which is it sounds like it was a phenomenal opportunity, and you're on the operation side, you know, dealing with customers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. When did you realize that you actually wanted to do something different? You know what? Before we go there. So you're just getting started. You've never been in this space before. You're a manager of Subway. Fascinating story again. Thank you for sharing. And you're here now. Was there a lot of insecurities or doubts about your capabilities or what they expected from you? Tell me a little bit about how they involved you, because all that's really important today, you know, making you feel a part of and et cetera. Tell us a little bit about that.
No, there was no issues with feeling insecure because they were very wanting us to learn and wanting me to learn about their industry and what they were doing. So, and a lot of times too, when we were talking about like parts and inventory, they compared it back to Subway and like, relate it to terms that I would understand, because I mean, essentially I was managing an inventory, it just was food.
Sure.
So so learning about the parts inventory, it was really cool how they would just, compare it back to that. So it made me understand it a little bit more. It was very welcoming, and just, here's what we do and just learn it kind of thing.
That's great. I remember, so our company is just a little over 2 years old, like 2 years and 3 weeks old. Charity, I was finishing up leaving another company I had and cleaning up a lot of loose ends, etc. Charity was hired before I even showed up to go to work. And then your name came up, and I don't know when, maybe it was 6-8 months into this, some kind of strategic partnership with, marketing and cross promoting and stuff like that, which incidentally, I forgot to mention this. Yes, we also have Charity. Nico's probably asleep today, but we have Charity, who's our chief marketing officer with Fixed Ops Marketing, even though this is what the Fixed Ops. So,
right.
What would you say inspires you personally and then professionally? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, these are great questions, and so everyone knows I was not prepared.
Well, no, so
we didn't want you to be.
So, I know, it's perfect. I love that.
I don't even know if there's any one answer. Yeah, we decided that this is going to be a ping and ponging with no real outline, but
no, I love that.
Yeah, I'm just, I always want to find out, what people's why is, what inspires them, because who you are personally has everything to do with who you are professionally. Mm-hmm. They seem to be interconnected. So that's something, you can stretch, think. I hope I didn't put you in an awkward position, but
it's okay.
We all have things that inspire us. So now that I took it back over and gave you a little break to think for about 30 seconds, could you tell me what you think?
Yeah, before I became a mom, what inspired me was a little bit differently. So now that I am a mom of a 2-year-old and have a family, my wife, my family, and just really providing and supporting them. But I would have to say that just what inspires me is really just being the best that I could be at something, and really just making someone's life better, or just impacting someone in a better way is really what inspires me. How can we all help each other? How can we have better lives and do better? That's really what inspires me, I guess.
I like that. So years ago, I don't know how many years ago it was now, but you're familiar with the name Zig Ziglar?
Yes.
Yes. So our company's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, just a little north, but in several years ago, before Ziglar passed on, I met somebody who was connected to him in his office, and I'm a big Zig Ziglar fan, because what you just said is one of the things he said, which was, iconic, is that if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. So it's important to give back and help people along the way and not make it all about me, myself, and I, which I love the way you responded to that. But I was invited to do a devotional at his office in Dallas. I mean, I got to tell you what, that was pretty phenomenal to interact with him. But do a devotional for his office, I got a little bit out of my element. But they were all very caring, loving. And he's exactly the same guy you read about and you hear in all the YouTube and any other places you may have seen him. He's just he was a tremendous guy and still is today with this industry, which is so. What about professionally? What drives you to keep moving the needle in sales and marketing? Tell us what sales and marketing at Partsedge is about.
That's a good one too. I would have to say that's why I wanted to do sales and marketing for Partsedge, because there wasn't really anything laid out, and I always thought that what we did was so unique that I was like, there has to be a way to spread the word or present it in a way so that people understand, or especially parts managers understand what we do and how we can help them. So that, I don't know if that answered the question, but I think just like seeing that opportunity or that niche and really just making, being creative and really the message is I think what inspires me. I guess the challenge, maybe.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
No, I got it. I don't know if it was Charity that made me consciously aware of, or when she started this cross promoting thing with you. I remember, I don't even know who I met with back in the day, and we were kind of talking back and forth about what each one of us does. And then all of a sudden, I start seeing Kaylee here, Kaylee over here, Kaylee on this podcast, Kaylee on this interview, Kaylee on this audio. And I'm thinking, man, we got to get her. She's going to be our first. You are our first guest.
Yes.
This is gonna go down in history right here, because we're gonna look back in about 4 or 5 years and don't know, you're gonna be running the company, Kaylee.
Yeah, you really have got around, which is really great to see. And it happened quickly. And it's really nice to see parts becoming, the sales and marketing of parts becoming established. I think that's brand new, as you would say, Russell, as far as the fixed op side, the parts side, that never used to have marketing for it.
No. It may, so right after we started this company, also, the roundtable it was their like first or second roundtable that they ever did. And then, of course, the pandemic hit, like within a few months. I think it was the second roundtable. I was actually there in person at Vegas with Ted Ings. Phenomenal at what he's put together, I think. It's been very informative. A lot of our staff actually, sit through as much as they possibly can during the course of the day. And what's fascinating is the timing for your company, the timing for our company. Because I have been in this industry a long time. And on the marketing side of things, you look at websites, it's real hard to find anything pertaining to parts and service and accessories. It's an afterthought. And I use this a lot in my presentations. Here's what we have, Kaylee. No specials no coupons, or no specials at this time, under construction, check back later. Or maybe a static image. Or maybe a handful of things that you might be able to schedule service or print. Very few things that pertain specifically to parts. Now, we have that with what we do in our suite of products that we introduce to dealers' websites. But it's like, I remember in 2008, as a matter of fact, I was running stores in, I think, 1996, when websites first came on the scene. And then right behind that, and it was a dial-up modem back then. Right, so,
I do actually remember dial-up.
Okay, so it tells a little bit about my age. But and then right behind that, I think it was in 97 or 98, there was this company, I think they're still called Autobychannel, and they had these internet leads. People would submit leads to get pricing on vehicles. And we signed up for it at our dealership. And it's not anything like it is now. The quality of those leads were like, if you got one, just about 80% of those people would drive up from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because we live north of there, our dealership is north of there, and buy. And then everybody said, oh my God, car sales are going away. Everybody's going to be buying online. And of course, here we are, 20 years later, not really much has changed. People still come in. But in 2008, there was a huge downturn, and the focal point became parts, service, and accessories, parts and service, okay? But dealerships didn't do much. Now, I seldom see it today, but I still occasionally do. I mean, you look on there, you might see 3 or 4 coupons, and you'll see a pair of scissors, Kaylee, cutting out a dotted line around the coupon. Hello? I mean, give me a break, okay? And then just the calls to action. Well, when I think a huge paradigm shift started to really take place, and perfect for our company and your company, because we started right before COVID hit. COVID, flatline, service became essential, sales departments shut down all over the world, but service was open because it was essential. And now I think there's been a breath of new life and energy pertaining to fixed operations. And that's next thing I know, I start seeing the roundtables, and I start seeing Kaylee, and I start seeing the, Lou and Fred with the car guys. Love those guys to death, love them to death. And it just goes on and on and on. And companies like ours, where we thought, okay, we were like 2 months old. January 7th, 2000 is when we actually, broke ground and started selling our product. And then 2 months, it's like people are crying the blues and flatline, and vendors are freaking out, don't know what to do. Dealership, they don't know what to do. Everybody's canceling this and that. We had 1 month where it was, we didn't lose any ground, and then things really just started to uptick and take off. Was it that way for Partsedge as well? And you?
Yeah, so Partsedge has been around for about 20 years, so we've been through the downturn in 2008, and I wasn't there at that time, but I know stories of we didn't really lose anyone because we were so essential for helping the parts managers.
Absolutely.
And then this whatever you want to call what we just had happened. I remember that there was the first month I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. Do I reach out to people? Like, it was kind of this awkward. And that's kind of what led into LinkedIn and really connecting in that way. And why I was like, okay, this is a different way of networking. And we're kind of virtually like commenting on stuff and networking in that way. So I'd say there was a month of like, but then we just grew. It's crazy, yeah. Because everyone's focusing on fixed ops.
In a way, it's a little easier to be on, the internet, looking to see what other people are doing, who's launching what podcast, what are the topics, what's it like, what's their theme, and it's easier to connect with people that way. I've seen so many new podcasts launch in the last 6 months in this industry that I think it's something has sprouted out of the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's good. We're just continuing that conversation, and we're able to listen to that conversation while we're going for a walk or exercising or whatever we're doing.
Yeah. Are you going to NADA?
Yes. Yeah. We're attending. Yes.
You got a booth?
No. We'll stop by your guys' booth though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I happen to think that I really believe this Omnicron is on its way out. The numbers are really starting to go down, which is, what the other countries have experienced. And if that follows suit, we're hoping that by NADA, or at least right now, I think it's probably going to be, and I've been to a lot of them, but it's probably going to be one of the largest, if not the largest ever. And so it's going to be really exciting. Do you got meetings scheduled with people, or are you just going to, interact and be a part of some stuff, or do you have an agenda?
I have a couple of people I'm meeting with, and then Chuck is actually speaking at the Mopar Masters anniversary.
Great.
He's the one that started the Mopar Masters Guild. So it's like a really big anniversary, so he gets to speak there.
That's great.
And then there's a few other people we'll see, and I'm excited to meet all the connections that I've met through LinkedIn. So, yeah.
So, have you been to one in the past?
Yes, I've gone to, I think, since I started, so 4 or 5.
Isn't it exciting?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love going.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it really gets you excited for the year. Just networking with everyone, it's great.
So let me ask you, Kaylee, professionally, what are some of the things you do to keep you moving forward? I mean, do you read? Are you a part of things where you continue to get new information so you can get different output and stuff like that, and thinking outside the box? Tell us a little bit about that.
I think doing more of these is what I try to do, because that just starts the conversation. And then just reading, I like to subscribe to newsletters and just know what's going on in the industry. And I'm trying to think what else.
That's a pretty good start. There's lots of podcasts, there's lots of newsletters. It's a lot of media to consume.
Yeah, and just like doing events and having conversations is just really, I think, what gets you moving and thinking outside the box. Talking to people.
Yeah, we think that since COVID, the way things are moving now, things are what used to be 3 to 5 year cycles are happening in 6 to 9 months now, as far as technology and changes and companies getting gobbled up or knew this or knew that. Artificial intelligence. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there that even though I had a website company and we did a lot of marketing type stuff, did a lot of advertising on a website. It's like, it's amazing how fast things are really moving. So are you guarded with your time and who you spend time with?
Are you talking like in just like everyday life?
Well, just in general, because trying to keep up and
Yeah.
continue to grow your career at Partsedge, but your family too. Work-life balance. Do you have that? And do you believe that's important?
I do believe that's important, and I do try my best. There are days where I'm just like, well, I wasn't very productive. You just get stuck on something or you're busy, but I try to have my planner and I just schedule my blocks and do what I need to do and set my most important. I always try to do my number things first, and then the rest is kind of like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Luckily, I live in a small town, so time out here is a little bit slower, so I don't feel like I'm like, because I lived in San Diego, so I always felt like I was in a rat race, even when I didn't have a family.
Right.
So I can't even imagine having a family now and living in San Diego. So yeah, I schedule my time. I even schedule stuff on the weekends too, like when I want to do projects around the house. I'm like, this is what I do this.
Yeah.
Good.
You sound very organized.
Yeah, yes, I try to be. But they always make fun of me at the office because I organize my fridge by, they say alphabetically, but I don't do it alphabetically. I do it by my condiments. Like I have all my ketchup and my mayonnaise together, all my salad dressings together, like everything's organized. Yeah, I'm very organized.
Charity, why are you laughing? Do you do that too?
To a degree, I'm afraid. Some of my, the salad crisper drawers, the fruit crisper, all my condiments are in those drawers because otherwise they're everywhere. And I prefer everything in one place.
One place? That's a good idea.
Yeah, so to some degree, I'm a little like that too.
I know, I'm crazy about the fridge. When someone puts something in it, I like organize it and put it where I want. It's a little anal too.
So do you like cooking or do you like going out?
A combination. So I don't really love cooking that much, but I do have a few things that I like to make that I feel like I'm pretty good at making. But so it's a combination. What
would one of those things you like making that you think you're really good at?
I like making enchiladas, but I do it like casserole style. And like salsa, I feel like I'm pretty good at making salsa.
Wow. Okay.
So,
okay. What about What about going out? What kind of food do you like to eat going out?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's only Mexican food here, so I feel like I eat a lot of Mexican food.
Okay, where's here?
Yeah, where are you at?
Oh, sorry. Cottonwood, Arizona. So I'm in Arizona.
And all there is Mexican food?
Yeah, I feel like I was afraid to move from San Diego because I'm like, oh no, because Mexican food's so good there. And that's all there is. Well, or burgers. There's burgers and Mexican food. So,
No pizza?
there's one pizza place, I think they're pretty good. So
Gotta have pizza.
yeah, and
we have a lot of Mexican food in North Texas, all over Texas, Tex-Mex. It's just, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Gary, do you have any questions?
I guess, I'm curious to know where you came up with Go Parts Girl as your moniker. If maybe there's a story there, or you want to share with us?
There's gotta be, Charity.
I wish there was. It really, when I started the LinkedIn thing and started networking, I was really doing research on, okay, what are people doing? What are, I think it's called the headline. Like, because before it was like, improve efficiency or do better. Right?
Yeah.
So boring. So, when, and they're like, okay, that person just is another person trying to sell me something. And I think what I saw I saw someone else say like they were a go-to something else. And I was like, well, I could be the go-to parts girl because like no one talks about parts. So
yeah.
I like that. That is really catchy.
I do too. It's good branding.
They made an email out of it. So I have go-to-partsgirl@partsedge.com.
I love that.
Well, it sounds like that's how people can get a hold of you if they need to.
Yeah. So, go to Parts Girl. I think that's it. # go to Parts Girl. No one has it.
Tell me about how you and Charity met.
I think Charity reached out to me.
I think so.
Yeah.
That probably sounds like Charity. That's something Charity would do.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was like, I want to collab on some content and I'm looking at
Who in the hell is this?
Yeah. I was like, who's trying to sell me something? Yeah. So yeah, and that was like, was it before or right when the pandemic started?
I think so. I think it was maybe right around that time, or maybe in the middle. But yeah, what's worst they can say is no. And some people have said, do you want money? Are you trying to get money from me? I'm like, I don't want any money. I just want to collab, co-brand, come up with content. And you'd be shocked. I remember telling you this. How many people say yes and they do it?
I even asked, like, because of what you did, I started asking other vendors, like, hey, do you want to collab on content? Because, let's talk about parts and service,
Oh, that's great. And someone taking me up on it, or?
Oh, yeah. Since you guys, I've reached out to a few, and we had a series of, like, a bunch of collabs. I haven't done it lately since I'm busy, but...
Right.
Jerry, did we charge her for that? Or?
We did not. In fact, Kaylee is a good friend now, and
this is what it's all about.
Yeah, I feel like I can reach out to Kaylee, like, hey, we just started a podcast, come on, and I feel like we could reach out to you if we want, if we need to.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, we've called each other questions about marketing stuff, like, what do you guys do? And so it's been great to have that resource.
I'll tell you, you really have made quite a splash on the scene, and Charity is like phenomenal. I mean, the stuff that she comes up with and the stuff that she does, the material, it's like, there's one guy on Facebook. I mean, Charity posts every day, Kaylee, every single day. And this one guy on Facebook started this push back and forth, like, dude, we already saw that. Why do you keep posting the same stuff over and over and over again? And I don't normally interact with guys like that, but I did. This guy, I can't remember verbatim what I said, but I said, well, if you really looked at it, it might look the same, but it's not. But even if it was, timing is everything. So maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's in the evening, maybe it's in the afternoon, but we're just trying to hit it right, and we get different people. And he said, well, you're posting, you post that and all different kinds of stuff. And I said, well, here's a good thing about marketing. Whether it's good or they're bad, they're talking about you like you're talking about us right now. So thank you very much. Oh, he shut me down after that, but it was fun.
Yeah, we post a lot on social media, and we don't do a whole lot of paid advertising, but we do some posts that are very similar or they look the same, and they still work. They still convert. So the option is to not post them. So
it works.
Yeah, it works. It works.
The Charity has single-handedly, from the social media aspect of this company, without really a budget. Most of this has occurred organically, and people are really starting to stand up and take notice. And now, we spent quite a bit of money, and Charity's spearheading it as well. So you make sure you give her accolades when you see it, Kaylee, you and your team. But our booth, we got just a really phenomenal booth that kind of matches what you see online. And we know a lot of people that never met us. Well, maybe, a lot of people. And if I'm not mistaken, we have more women than we do men working in our company too.
I think that sounds right.
I think it is right. And I think that a big part of what's going on right now, and your exposure out there as well, Kaylee and Charity both, women. We want them coming into the market. And I don't know if you have conversations like that, Kaylee, about that, there's a shortage of people out there, quality people. And then you got the Gen Z and Gen Y and Gen Xers and stuff like that. You got all these new people coming in, and they don't work the same way that some of the rest of us work in this industry. And so, and also promoting women a lot. I think it's important to get women into service and parts and sales as well. And I see a lot more of that, don't you?
Oh yeah, I see so much more of it. It's great to see that. I think there's a new awareness or understanding that women, well, not new, but women can work and have families and be successful, and just I think that's what has held women back for so long, is that taking care of the family and having this flexibility to take care of the family and still have a productive job and do very well is, I think, what bosses or upper management is being more aware of and more gracious towards it. So
well, I agree. I gotta tell you, I clean toilets, I change diapers, I fix stuff, I do a lot of stuff. I clean house, I vacuum when necessary and stuff like that. So I think it's important that I think there's more women in the workplace than there are men today.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
we're good at juggling. We're really good at juggling, Russell. We can juggle children, we can juggle house, we can juggle job, and smile while we do it. Right, Kaylee?
Well, apparently Kaylee's doing it, and apparently you're doing it. So, and both of you are so important to whoever the owners are. Who are the owners of Partsedge?
Chuck Hartley and Cliff Pope.
Tell me about Chuck and Cliff.
Chuck was, let's see, who do I want to tell the story about first? So Chuck Hartley is the parts expert. So he was running one of the largest Chrysler points in the country when he met Cliff. Cliff was a very successful engineer, installer with ADP, and how Partsedge came about and how they got together was Chuck was a parts manager in a reactive state, and he was like, the DMS has to do more for me. What can we get it to do? So they basically created Partsedge based off of what he wanted the DMS to do automatically for him.
Wow.
And it's evolved into many other things, but the core of what we do and how we're able to produce such great results is through what Chuck and Cliff created together as him experiencing it as a parts manager and wanting to be more proactive. So,
well, you be sure to bring them by and introduce them to Charity and I, okay? And
they'll be there. You guys will love them. They're so different. So Chuck was the Subway one. Who loved Subway? Cliff didn't really like Subway. So they're funny. They're great guys.
That's great. We really, do stop by at NADA. I've never met them or you in person. So stop by and say hi, and you'll start seeing our marketing come out at the beginning of February for that. And it'll be very obvious which booth is ours.
Yep.
It'll be perfectly obvious.
I'm sure I'll know.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even met Charity.
What?
I know.
I have never, not in person.
Oh my goodness.
Most of our
over 2 years, I think.
Over 2 years, yeah. So we have people in Virginia, Texas, let's see, Iowa, Washington and Oregon, right?
We used to be Hawaii and now Florida.
In Hawaii, Florida. There you go. And other than my business partner, we just hired a new national sales director, which Charity, I want to say thank you again. She did an instrumental job at finding people and putting people together, and the interview process. That's great. But yeah, it's just let's see, account managers, graphic design. I don't know. There's just
they're all over.
Yeah, we're all over, and we do this Zoom and Skype. Actually, we started another thing more officially today than anything called Slack. Have you ever heard of Slack?
I haven't heard of Slack. Yeah.
We're going away from Skype to Slack.
Okay. It's a great way to have conversations and keep it organized.
Yeah. But most of the team is going to be there at NADA. So yeah, you make sure you come by and see us and meet the team. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Charity, I don't have it. I mean, we kind of pinged and ponged quite a bit there. I feel like I'm leaving something out, but we covered quite a bit.
We did, and I would say we give the floor to you, Kaylee. How can people get a hold of you? What can you do for them? Let us know. Give us your spiel.
Yeah. So you can get a hold of me through LinkedIn. Just look up #GoToPartsGirl or
all right.
Or go to partsedge.com, explore our website. But what do you want me to go into what we do?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Well, I'll do the short and sweet. So like I said, it was founded by Chuck and Cliff, and really just giving parts managers a tool to be more proactive with their DMSs and the way they're managing their inventory. And that's really what we do, is just focusing on giving them what they need, because as you guys know, all managers really are putting out fires, they're training employees, they have customers to deal with. And parts managers have an inventory to manage, and it doesn't manage itself. So we give them the tools to better manage it with their DMS. And then it's evolved into just being a support for them, having that kind of consulting type relationship ongoing, where they can ask us questions. We can give them insight on, hey, we looked at your inventory, it looks like you need to make some changes or stuff like that. So yeah, so that's what we do at Partsedge.
Well, listen, thank you very much. A lot of people, particularly in the vertical that we're in, are going to see, oh, there's Kaylee, I'm going to go watch that, etc. But I'd like to say thank you very much, and more, as well as my co-host, Charity, because Charity, without you, this wouldn't have even happened. This is episode number 4. First episode with our first guest, Kaylee.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for WTF, What the Fix Stops, and look forward to seeing you next time.